You're listening to Plants and Politics with Gina Bonanno Lemos. If you're ready to hear the truth about both sides of the aisle, what's really going on in America, and how big money interests prevent change to keep you sick, broke, and desperate, then play on. Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. This is Gina. So I have some breaking news. This is just unbelievable. But I hope Donald Trump keeps hanging himself with his own rope. That's all I can say. He announced today that he's going to be rolling back an Obama-era rule that basically tried to target racial housing discrimination, and it allowed for low-income housing to be built, in various neighborhoods around the country. So in a pair of tweets, it says, this is on the Hill newspaper reported, or online, I should say, reported, quote, in a pair of tweets Wednesday, Trump asserted that his efforts to prevent low-income housing from being built in affluent areas would prevent suburbanites from being bothered, this is quote, bothered or financially hurt by a rule intended to expand access to housing for minorities. So in the middle of a pandemic, record unemployment, we're in a depression, headed for a Great Depression. We had almost 30%, if not more than 30% of Americans couldn't make their full or any house payment. That's rent or mortgage as of the beginning of this month, the beginning of July. And you are getting rid of affordable housing. You're going to no longer require that it be built. I just don't even know what to say anymore. So here's some quotes from Trump. These are some other tweets that he put out. Quote, I'm happy to inform all of the people living their suburban lifestyle dream, all capitalized as if that's like an official thing, that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low-income housing built in your neighborhood. He also said, quote, your housing prices will go up based on the market and crime will go down. I have rescinded the Obama-Biden AFFH rule. Enjoy. So the AFFH rule was affirmatively furthering fair housing, and the Obama administration put it into effect in 2015. So he officially, I guess, repealed this decision last week, but he's just now talking about it. And this provision that Obama put forth basically required local governments to prove that federal subsidies, and this is from the Hill, quote, federal subsidies for housing projects would not go to developments without zoning laws or other regulations that are effectively discriminatory to minorities, particularly Black and Hispanic Americans. It blows my mind. But then they'll call the left the coastal elite. I mean, even if you just look at where Trump has lived his entire life, Florida and New York, that's the coast, guys. I don't know if everybody's seen a map lately, but that's the coast. And he's pretty wealthy. So he is the epitome of coastal elite. And this just proves it. The amount of people who voted for him thinking that he was going to help the average person, the quote, forgotten man and woman, I would have to wonder, what do they think when they see something like this? I mean, you know how you lower crime? You know how you get people out of poverty? You give them a leg up. You give them a chance. You give them an opportunity. I'm going to share with you something in my life that literally changed my life for the better and permanently. So I had my son very young. I was 19 when I had my son. I was a single mom. And so I was on my own. And luckily, I kept my credit very clean, although I was broke, guys. I literally was living Paycheck to paycheck. I could not afford anything extra. Luckily, the government had a program back then. It was a HUD-backed program, and it allowed for people with lower income, as I was, but who had maintained good credit, to purchase a HUD-owned property, because this was after the recession of the 90s. And so they had taken control of a lot of properties. So they had a lot of HUD properties that the government owned. You could purchase one of these homes for $100 down, literally. And then they paid the majority of your closing costs. So I think when it was all said and done, I got into this condo. I bought a condo, believe it or not, 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo in Southern California for $58,000. I mean, that doesn't exist anymore, right? You can't even get something for pretty much double that anymore in Southern California. And without that program, I don't know what I would have done. I would have had to pay far more in rent, and I don't know how I would have made it. I mean, as it was, there were so many nights that we had beans and rice. That was our dinner, because that's what I could afford. I just don't get it. I don't get these people like Congressman Yoho, who just had the back and forth go around with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who claims that he understands what poverty is, that he was on food stamps once. So basically what these people are saying is, hey, once I'm in the boat, I'm pulling in the life vest. I'm pulling in the life raft. You're not getting any help from me. I made it in. Too bad. I just don't understand. Anyway, this is awful. This is the most self-centered asshole who's never known what it's like in his life to go without, and yet he refuses to help anybody. So how people who are struggling can still support him, I just don't get it. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. And as always, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.